Have you ever caught a faint, lingering odor, something like urine, that sticks with you, no matter how recently you showered or how clean you feel? If you're a woman over 60, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. In fact, many older women experience this exact issue, and the surprising part, it's often not due to poor hygiene, but rather everyday habits we've carried for years that now work against us. This video is going to uncover 7 subtle mistakes that might be silently sabotaging your freshness and confidence. From the laundry choices we make to how often we change our undergarments, you'll be surprised how small changes can make a world of difference. Stick with me until the end because the final habit is something most women do daily and don't even realize it's causing problems. No shame, no judgment, just clear, empowering information to help you feel clean, dignified, and fully confident in your body again. If you find this helpful, leave me a comment with the number 1. If not, comment 0 and let me know how I can improve. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a tip that could make aging just a little easier. Now let's get started. Number 1. Let's begin with something that's quietly affecting more women over 60 than most care to admit: light bladder leaks. Not the kind that sends you rushing to the bathroom in a panic, but those subtle, sneaky dribbles that happen when you laugh, sneeze, or move the wrong way while lifting groceries. You know the ones. They seem harmless at first, barely noticeable, easy to ignore. I used to brush it off myself. It was just the tea I had earlier, I'd tell myself. It's nothing. But here's the thing, those little leaks add up. And one day, I realized that no matter how often I bathed or changed my clothes, there was this faint smell I couldn't shake. It was like it clung to me, and I didn't know why. At first, I blamed everything except the real cause. Maybe it was the detergent I used, or something in the couch fabric, or just getting older. But the truth hit me during a family gathering when someone gently suggested I change my sweater. I was mortified. That was the moment I realized the issue wasn't my furniture, it was my habits. You see, even the smallest bit of moisture from a light leak can soak into your underwear, pants, or the soft cushions of your favorite chair. And if you hang those clothes up to wear again tomorrow without washing them, or worse, don't notice at all, that moisture becomes a cozy home for bacteria. And where bacteria thrive, odor follows. Here's the tough part. Our sense of smell dulls with age. So while we might think everything is fine, others around us might notice something we don't. That's not fair, and it's not your fault, but it is something you can take charge of easily. The good news is, there are smart, simple solutions. Moisture-wicking underwear made for light incontinence, or even ultra-thin liners designed to trap leaks and neutralize odor, can completely change the game. They're discreet, comfortable, and blend right into your daily routine. No fuss, no embarrassment, just peace of mind. And I get it. Admitting we need a product for incontinence can feel like a blow to our pride. But let me ask you this. What's more empowering? Quietly protecting your dignity with a solution no one can see, or pretending the problem doesn't exist while it chips away at your confidence? I wish someone had told me sooner that these leaks are normal, that they're manageable, and most importantly, that they don't have to define how we feel about ourselves. So I'm telling you now. Don't wait for a moment of embarrassment to take action. There are tools out there that work, and using them is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. 2. Using the wrong soaps, something I never questioned until it started affecting my confidence in ways I couldn't ignore. For most of my life, I believed that fresh meant scrubbing every inch of my body with strong, floral-scented soap. My bathroom shelf was a collection of vibrant bottles promising paradise in a bottle: coconut dream, spring meadow, midnight jasmine. You name it, I bought it. If it foamed up nicely and left a bold scent behind, I assumed it was doing its job. But the truth? It wasn't cleaning me. It was quietly damaging my skin. You see, as we age, especially post-menopause, our skin becomes thinner, drier, and more sensitive, particularly in our intimate areas. And those fragrant, commercial soaps I loved so much. They were doing the exact opposite of what I thought. Instead of helping, they were stripping away my skin's natural oils, disrupting its pH balance, and making it easier for bacteria to take hold. That clean scent I chased, it was just masking a problem I didn't realize I was creating. I started noticing that even after a shower by midday, there was still an odd, musty smell I couldn't shake. I'd change clothes, reapply perfume, even take another quick wash, but the odor lingered. And worse, my skin felt tight, itchy, and sometimes even a little raw. I thought maybe it was just age catching up with me. But then I brought it up with my doctor. That conversation was eye-opening. She gently explained that many women over 60 struggle with this, because our bodies need gentler care. What once worked in our 30s or 40s simply doesn't anymore. Her advice was simple: ditch the harsh soaps and switch to a mild, unscented cleanser, or even just warm water. At first I thought, warm water? Really? It sounded too basic, but I figured I had nothing to lose, so I gave it a shot. I swapped out my tropical body wash for a fragrance-free, hypoallergenic cleanser, and within just a few days, the results were clear. My skin felt soothed instead of tight. The itching stopped, and most surprising of all, the odor I had been trying so hard to cover up, it vanished. No more layering on body sprays or worrying about midday freshness. I finally felt clean and, more importantly, comfortable. That's when I realized, real hygiene isn't about adding more chemicals or scent. It's about removing what's disrupting your body's natural balance in the first place. If you're still using those heavily fragranced soaps that promise luxury but deliver irritation, I urge you to reconsider. Your skin, especially as it ages, deserves better. You deserve better. Sometimes less truly is more, and your body will thank you for it. 3. Forgetting to change liners and pads regularly. This one might surprise you, especially if you've been relying on liners or pads as part of your daily routine. Whether it's for light bladder leakage, post-menopausal changes, or just to feel extra secure, many women wear them for peace of mind. But peace of mind shouldn't come at the cost of your health or comfort. I'll be honest. I used to put one on in the morning and not think about it again all day. If it didn't feel damp, I assumed it was still fine. Besides, they're expensive, and I didn't want to burn through a pack in a week. But what I didn't realize was this. Even when a liner feels dry, it's slowly accumulating moisture, sweat, natural discharge, and yes, tiny bladder leaks you may not even notice. And that tiny bit of moisture, it's enough to create a warm, humid environment where bacteria love to grow. The result? Odors that sneak up on you and stick around. I remember catching a faint sour smell by dinner time and wondering where it was coming from. Was it my clothes? My jacket? Maybe I needed stronger deodorant. It wasn't until I brought it up with my doctor that I learned the truth. She explained that liners and pads should be changed every few hours, not because they're full, but because they become a hotspot for bacteria. That buildup not only causes odor but can also irritate your skin and lead to infections. I was floored. I thought I was being smart and thrifty. Turns out I was compromising my hygiene. So I made a change. I started carrying a small pouch with a few extra liners in my purse, easy to slip into the restroom during a lunch break or shopping trip. I also tried reusable, washable liners, which are not only softer on the skin but far more economical in the long run. And the difference was incredible. No more sour smell, no more second-guessing my freshness around others. I felt more comfortable, more confident, and more in control. If you've been wearing the same liner from morning till night, it's time to change that habit. Trust me, your skin will breathe easier and so will your sense of self. Hygiene isn't about doing more, it's about doing it right. 4. Wearing synthetic underwear. Let's talk about something tucked away in our drawers, literally. For years, I thought I had the perfect underwear collection. Soft, stretchy panties in every color and style you could imagine. They didn't bunch, they looked cute, and they were everywhere in the stores. I figured, why mess with what works? But something was off. No matter how often I bathed or changed, I felt damp, even on days when the weather was cool and I wasn't particularly active. Worse, I started noticing a faint odor that stuck around, despite my best efforts with scented sprays and extra showers. At first, I blamed everything from my detergent to my diet. I never once suspected the problem might be in my underwear drawer. That is, until a routine doctor's visit flipped the light switch. My doctor asked me one simple question: "What kind of fabric are you wearing down there?" I blinked. "Nylon, spandex, a little lace." She gently shook her head and said, "That's the problem. Synthetic fabrics like polyester and nylon may look and feel great at first, but they're awful at letting your skin breathe. They trap heat and moisture, creating a warm, sticky environment where bacteria can thrive. And for those of us navigating postmenopausal changes like thinner skin and decreased moisture control, that's a dangerous mix. It leads to irritation, odor, and a constant feeling of being less than fresh." So I followed her advice. I cleared out my old favorites and replaced them with 100% cotton underwear. At first, I thought I was giving up style for practicality. But what I didn't expect was just how quickly I noticed the difference. Cotton is breathable, soft, and absorbent. It lets air circulate and keeps moisture from getting trapped against your skin. That clammy, uncomfortable feeling disappeared. My laundry stopped holding strange odors. And most importantly, I felt more confident, even when no one else could see what I was wearing. I even found styles that felt modern and flattering, proof that comfort and cuteness are not mutually exclusive. If you're still clinging to those shiny, stretchy undies because they're familiar or on sale, take it from someone who's been there. Make the switch to cotton. Your skin will breathe easier, and so will you. 5. Not drinking enough water. For the longest time, I genuinely believed I was being clever by limiting how much water I drank each day. My thinking was simple: less water in, fewer trips to the bathroom. No more awkward moments while out with friends. No more scanning restaurants for the nearest restroom. No more panic during long car rides. I thought I was outsmarting my bladder, but really I was shortchanging my entire body. It turns out, this little strategy was quietly working against me in ways I never anticipated. What started as a minor attempt at control became the root cause of a bigger issue. A lingering body odor that just didn't seem to go away, no matter how often I showered or changed my clothes. What I didn't understand back then was how dehydration transforms your urine. Without enough water, your body can't flush out toxins efficiently. Instead, your urine becomes dark, thick, and intensely pungent. And here's the kicker: even the tiniest leak from a laugh or a cough, something so subtle you might not notice, can leave behind a sharp smell that clings to your skin, your clothes, and yes, even the cushion on your chair. At first, I chalked it up to aging. I thought, this must be part of getting older. I even started avoiding hugs and close conversations, worried that others might smell what I couldn't quite cover up. But something in me knew that wasn't the whole story, so I made a small decision, one that changed everything. I began drinking more water, not gallons at a time, just a few extra glasses spread throughout my day. And within a week the changes were undeniable. My urine lightened, that strong odor faded, and I started to feel clearer, both physically and mentally. My skin began to look more vibrant, my energy picked up, and the foggy, sluggish feeling that had crept into my afternoons vanished. Hydration didn't just improve how I felt, it changed how I smelled, how I moved, and how I carried myself. I felt clean again, confident again. Now I understand, drinking water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's about flushing out what your body doesn't need. It's about supporting your kidneys, keeping your urinary tract clean, and even maintaining the subtle details of hygiene most people don't talk about. Yes, staying hydrated might mean a few extra bathroom visits, but with smart planning like timed breaks or protective liners, you can manage that. What you can't afford is the long-term cost of running on empty. If you've been cutting back on water because of bathroom worries, please reconsider. That glass of water might be the easiest, most overlooked beauty and hygiene secret we have, and it's entirely within your control. 6. Sitting too long without washing up. Let's talk honestly. After I retired, my days began to slow down, and truthfully, I loved it. Mornings spent curled up with a book, afternoons watching favorite shows, or just lounging in my coziest nightgown until noon. After years of non-stop schedules and endless responsibilities, it felt like I'd earned this stillness, a chance to breathe, relax, and just be. But over time, that slower rhythm started to create an issue I hadn't anticipated. And it wasn't just physical. It started affecting my confidence, my comfort, and if I'm being real, my dignity. What was the problem? Simply this: I was sitting too long without freshening up. When you spend hours on a soft chair or nestled under a blanket, especially in snug clothes or sleepwear, your body naturally warms up. Add a bit of perspiration, some natural skin oils, and even minor bladder leaks, and you've unknowingly created a little pocket of humidity around your pelvic area. And that combination, warmth, moisture, and friction, is the perfect recipe for odor-causing bacteria to thrive. I didn't notice it at first. It crept in gradually. I'd step out feeling clean after a morning shower, only to catch a faint scent by mid-afternoon and wonder, is that me? The real wake-up call came from the most unexpected place, my granddaughter. She climbed up into my lap, gave me a hug, then wrinkled her nose and innocently said, "Grandma, you smell kind of damp." Bless her sweet heart. She didn't mean to hurt my feelings, but her honesty hit me like a brick. It was the moment I realized that my new, cozy lifestyle had slipped into a pattern of neglect. I wasn't taking care of my body the way I once did. Not because I didn't care, but because I wasn't paying attention. So I made a change. Nothing extreme, just intentional. I started breaking up long sitting periods with small movements, a trip to the kitchen for water, a walk to the mailbox, some gentle stretching, and most importantly, I added a quick midday hygiene break to my routine. A warm cloth, a little rinse, a fresh pair of underwear or lounge pants. It takes 5 minutes, but the difference is incredible. Now, even on my quietest days at home, I change into fresh clothes daily. Not for anyone else, for me. Because that feeling of freshness, it's not just physical, it's emotional, it's dignity. And that, especially as we age, is non-negotiable. This isn't about impressing guests or masking your scent with sprays. It's about honoring your body with the same care you've always deserved. Because comfort is wonderful. But comfort with confidence. That's freedom. 7. Neglecting the laundry routine. It's something we rarely talk about, our laundry habits. Not the towels or the kitchen rags, but the clothes that live closest to our skin. Underwear, pajama bottoms, nightgowns, and soft loungewear we slip into day after day. If they look clean, and they don't smell bad, it's tempting to toss them back on the chair or into the drawer for another wear, right? I used to do it all the time. On days I barely left the house, I'd think, why bother washing this? It's not like I was out gardening or dancing in the rain, but slowly I started noticing something was off. I'd take a fresh shower, put on my favorite cozy pants, and by mid-morning I'd catch a subtle scent that made me pause. Was it me, or was it the clothes? The answer, as I discovered, was both. As we age, our skin changes. We sweat differently. Our natural oils shift. And even light bladder leaks or mild discharge, things many of us quietly deal with, can linger in fabrics far more than we realize. Especially when those fabrics are tight-fitting or synthetic like polyester or spandex. These materials trap moisture and odor, and when they're not thoroughly cleaned, that invisible dirt sticks around, right up against your most delicate skin. Standard laundry routines, especially using cold water or gentle detergent, might not be enough. It wasn't until I took a closer look at how I was washing my clothes that everything changed. Now I separate my intimate items, underwear, nightwear, and loungewear, and wash them in hot water. I add a splash of white vinegar to neutralize bacteria and break down stubborn odor molecules. And I make sure every piece is completely dry before it ever touches my body again. No musty dampness, no shortcuts. I stopped rewearing kind of clean items. Even if they look okay, they go in the laundry bin after one wear. That one change made a massive difference, not just in how I smelled, but in how I felt. There's something powerful about knowing your body and your clothes are both fresh, truly clean, and supporting your confidence. Because here's the truth, clean clothes aren't just about hygiene. They're about dignity. They're about feeling at home in your own skin, especially when no one's watching. So if you've let a few laundry shortcuts slide, no shame, but it might be time for a refresh. You'll notice the difference. And more importantly, so will your confidence. Ladies, we've just explored 7 simple yet powerful shifts that can completely transform how you feel in your own skin. From managing those unexpected leaks with smarter underwear choices, to rethinking the soaps we've trusted for decades, to honoring your body with hydration and a fresh laundry routine. Each step is about reclaiming your comfort and confidence after 60. These aren't just hygiene tips, they're acts of self-respect. They're about saying, I matter and how I feel matters. And the best part, none of this requires a drastic lifestyle change. Small tweaks done consistently can have a massive impact on how you carry yourself each day. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one insight from this video that really struck a chord? Was it the reminder to swap out old synthetic underwear, or the idea of adding a midday freshen-up routine? Share your favorite tip in the comments below. It might just inspire another woman to make a change too. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. This community is all about supporting each other through aging with grace, strength, and dignity. Until next time, stay fresh, stay confident, and remember, you deserve to feel your best at every age.